And then we're unmuted. Hello there, Pastafarians, it's me, Schizophrenic H. Today is Tuesday. Tuesday, the 10th day of September of the 12,019th year of our language.
Nice.
You're listening to the radio show, which is my practically daily stream. I stream it here from Safe Word Studios, where I work as an intern for the pornography industry here, and they let me do the sort of propaganda department here. And yesterday, they came down to the propaganda department, and they were like, "Hey, guess what?" And I was like, "Yeah, you want me to do a favour for you, eh?" And so, yeah, I just paid the fucking rent, ladies and gentlemen, so that's nice, because, you know...
So what did you do for this rent?
Well, I'll tell you about that during today's stream, but just as a preview, we went down to the old Civic Center Park there in Denver, which is a place that I know and love. I have slept there. It's a lovely place, and Bertrand Sanders, Bernhold Sanders was there, talking like he always talks, Filthy Films has noted, saying the same thing that he has been saying forever, which is, holy shit, that's not sustainable. Although he did say a little bit new things on it, like, I don't think forever he's been saying, the scientists have given us 11 years. That's what he said. I thought it was 12, but I guess that was last year.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you know, I think because of the Johnson Amendment, I can't tell you that the Flying Spaghetti Monster wants you to vote for Bernie Sanders. But I can tell you, I think that if I were involved in a primary, I would vote for him. I think I'm not going to be involved in the primary, though. Is that stupid? Like, the primary is where the election was made last time, though, right? So I really should fucking give a shit. I just don't want to fucking be a Democrat. They're such arseholes.
Yeah.
They're just fucking terrible people. So I just don't want to be on either of these teams is the point.
Yeah.
Like, can I do that? And it's like, no, you got to be on this team. I was like, well, fuck, you know. That's, politics is weird.
It's gross.
It's weird and it's gross. But, you know, life's weird and gross.
So,
Yeah.
when I write in Bernie Sanders, does that count as a vote?
I believe so.
Like,
He's
they
not
don't
going to win.
just toss it?
I don't think they toss it. I think they count it as a write-in vote for Bernie Sanders.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, I'm just going to vote how I...
So you're just going to vote for Bernie Sanders, you're just going to write it in no matter what the primary does?
Yep.
So you better get your shit together, DNC, or you're going to lose fucking Josephine here.
Yeah.
Would you like lettuce on your shit sandwich, as Filthy Films? Right, yeah, that is a thing. We were driving to this thing, and I stopped in Golden to make some copies. Golden, Colorado, you may have heard of it, when I went to the Golden Kinko's and Burger King, right before I saw Bertrand Sanders, and made the handouts that we were talking about. On the way out of there, they're trying to make the road, like, really slow, like the main road in and out.
Uh-huh.
And so they've put in roundabouts and, like, speed bumps. And so they made their road shittier, right? So that people would want to use another road. And they're like, I know how to do it. Let's make our town a little bit shittier, and then everyone will stop driving through here. And it's like, okay, or you could have been like, well, it's a main road, so we better fucking... let's put all the fucking shit on here. And so, you know, one of the ways people sort of get what they want is to make the world just a little bit shittier. And, you know, you can only do that so often before you have made this world incredibly shitty.
Yeah.
So yeah. It's,
Instead,
yeah.
how about you just move on? Like, it's acceptance of...
Yeah.
Okay, people are going to drive this road.
Move forward.
Make
Move
it
into the future.
a great road for cars to move through here and for people to walk.
Yeah, and for businesses to be, and for, you know, and we'll decide how all the businesses will look. So it'll look old-timey, and there'll definitely be enough parking, because we're not going to fucking make those mistakes again. We're going to fucking be the city of the future. And then a lot of these cities are like, we want to be the city of the past.
Can you imagine if they did only automated cars in their city?
In Golden?
Yeah.
They could do that. But anyway, we can't start talking yet because
No.
I haven't even played any
It's not
songs yet.
rambling time.
Yeah, we haven't even started the show.
Well, get ready, guys, because it's rambling.
Yeah, Josephine's got a lot to say apparently. But I'm going to play for you a video that has been coming out recently by one of my favorites, Oh Wonder. So we're going to watch that right now. So that's Oh Wonder there doing some fucking crazy cult shit, you know what I mean? And so I think that what they're trying to say is they've joined a cult, and I don't know any faster growing cult around in the game at the moment than we ourselves. So you know, I think they're trying to subtly send us some clues here that they've been touched, as it were.
Nice.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Well, yeah, congratulations on your conversion to the truth. I hope that you move forward, and I hope that you can recover that word hallelujah. Maybe we can make it not so religious. Very, very, very cult stuff there, though. That was pretty cool. With quite clearly they were starting a weird cult and doing cultic rituals with their uniformity in their clothing and such like. So yeah, that sounds very fun. We should do that. We should have a cult, and we can go out every day and with the fitness marshal and do that, and we can wear our cult clothes and it'd be great.
Color rings.
That's right, and you can carry me and Joe around like that. That'd be funny. We can do our daily rituals.
Someone will be in charge of the camera that's flying around.
That's right, the drone camera.
Yeah.
Well, that will have to have choreographers though, so do sign up here if you want to be the choreographer for our cultic rituals where we sing to the drone camera. So yeah. But anyway, I like that song. You know, Hallelujah's got a weird sort of connotation, but you know, good for them. Good for them. Do what you're gonna do, you weird cult people. Alright, I'm gonna get really high, and I'm going to take my medications for the day during this next song. But you're not gonna watch. All right. 2 songs right at the top. And now it's time for the top of the hour walk. I think I talked about that. Oh shit. Fuck.
Oh, man.
Sorry about that. Sometimes the Creators Project really fucks us. My sincerest apologies. That's fucked up. I should go through Pandora or something like this. Yes. So that I don't get so many just artifacts, YouTube artifacts. In fact, the next song that I have queued up, I had to get the fucking album version instead of the video because there's just this random part in the middle of it. People talking, yeah. Although another one over here, Michael Kiwanuka, who was in a film recently. Like, yeah, he's
That's cool.
Yeah, very cool.
What is he?
He's got a song that, like, the best version of it is the fucking YouTube version. That's like this one take studio thing, and in the middle of it, it's got like we jump into the studio so it quiets down,
Okay.
and like that's the only version of that song that there is of that version because it's like them playing right there, and it's a really good one. I think that's what's going on. Could be wrong about that. I'm like 72% sure on that one.
That's cool.
Yeah. So Tommy our walk. Business time. So went to the business meeting, of course, because they were all like, "Hey, so we want you to go down to Bernie Sanders and we want you to hand out fucking flyers that say decriminalize prostitution." And I was like, "Dude, that's some pretty bold shit." And they were like, "All right, we'll give you what you need." And I was like, "Well, here's what I need. I need to get all of my fucking radio shows onto MP3 format and then posted to some shit so that my fucking cult followers can listen to it at their leisure. It's quite easy, and a place where they can go to get it all quick and easy. Because I'm gonna have to listen to them because I'm gonna fucking do some workouting when we move down into the town. You know,
Yep.
when I join a gym after the move and lose some of this weight, and gonna have to listen to something.
Right.
And what's better to listen to than yourself? So that'll be great. Yeah. So and they were all like, well, I guess we'll figure that out. We'll get the interns on it, the AV interns or whatever they've got, because they've got some weird people who donate their time to them. Like, I mean, I say weird, but I mean like disparate. I mean like a lot of different people have reasons for talking to a pornography company. My dog is licking his arse. Hold on a moment. Excuse me, Bones. Excuse me. Can this be a thing that you do outside? Thank you. We're having a radio show here. Thank you very much, Bones. So what was I talking about? Pornography? Probably pornography.
Probably.
So people
Interns, you get.
Yeah. So people
Favorite
donate.
studios.
The punchline is people donate their time to the pornography studio that I have decided to work with. So, long story short, for those people that haven't heard all of it, this is how I understand it, I remember it. You can go back and listen to the radio shows as it was happening and fucking hear it live, but my memory has mythologized it already, so it's hard for me to really, understand the details, but do let me know what you remember. So, because it was time to take this shit seriously, right? Like, I was ready during the spring, right? Winter was over, the great thaw, of 12,019. I was like, this is my fucking year. And so, let's fucking do it. And so, I went out and I got in touch with this publishing studio. And nobody really wanted to talk to me about it. Sent out a couple emails. But then this pornography studio was all like, yeah, we'll talk about it. And, they were called Red Light Studios at the time. And, so, I used them. I said, well, how about this? I'm going to go on a tour. And, they were like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. And, there was a ton of misunderstanding. And so I thought that they knew that this thing was not going to make money. And they thought I was saying, this thing's going to make, $1,000 a day or something. And so they thought, that I was going to be paying them $1,000 a day for this tour out in LA, and it was 20 days, and it was wait, what? And so they were like talking about my kneecaps for a while. And so then, you know, I had a reason to donate my time to this pornography studio. So that's the point, is many, many different people find reasons to donate themselves, or in turn, to these people. And so, you know, they were like, well, we'll see if any of our, you know, people, our contractors, have anything to do with that sort of thing, know how to do that tech stuff. I'm like, okay, so I'm going to go talk to the old IV tech, IT tech.
IV.
Yeah, AV IT tech. Yeah. Over. So what else at the top of the hour? We were talking the other day. I was thinking about this thing that we're doing here because I'm just doing the show because these hours exist. You know what I mean? There's a guy trying to talk to me over in the in the YouTube comments, and I don't know if you talk in these sort of forums where the conversation happens over a month. You know, like where you don't just sit there and you type because that's what we're doing here, right? You guys are sitting there and we're typing, and I can type back or I can talk back. And then we're having a conversation, but then there's this sort of longer form conversation that happens on like Facebook and Twitter and YouTube and stuff, where it's 20 minutes between statements. You know, it just really takes a long time, and so they are mind numbing, these things. So I'm trying to have this time open to have these conversations, because people just, I can't say everything because people listen to one thing in a YouTube comment, so you get to say one thing every 10 minutes, and it's terrible. And so you've got to pick what you're talking about, and they just go all over the fucking place, you know what I mean? So you've got to follow them down any weird fucking rabbit hole, and it's like, I really would like this at a much faster pace. It would be nice. So I stream, right? Live stream. You can come here and you can do it. I'm a Pastafarian preacher. Yeah. I do go out on the streets. I fucking am trying to wake everyone up from the ancient blood nightmares that they are participant of, that they are the carriers for. They are carrying these viruses into the future. These viruses could die in the past and never infect anyone in the future. It's possible, and they are the carriers that are blocking that. And so I'm doing this, and so then at the same time, you know, we get to talk, right? At the same time, if they're not in here talking about these conversations, if I'm not talking to a fucking myth believer, by the way, Country City bumped into me last night on fucking YouTube, and he went and watched the EC Street Preacher video, and was all like, EC, I fucking lost all respect for you. Oh, you know his accent's fake, right? And it's like, la. He's still butthurt about it. It's like, dude, it's been months, dude. Get over it. Let's talk about the fucking subject. Like, he still really is, like, heartbroken that I'm not as sexy as I appear to be. Because the accent is just made me sexier. And it's like, oh, your real voice is so American.
Yeah, you're
sorry.
so dumb.
Oh, not as special as I thought you were.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's a facade. I'm trying to look special so that you guys can allow yourself to treat me as special. Because you know, it's very hard to treat a non-special person like they're special. And so we've got to treat the cult leader like he's special, because he is. He's the cult leader. That's special. That's the whole point. It's like we've got this problem as humans of like, you're just the same as me, but you're like different. So what do we do? It's a very, very difficult thing to do. Were we talking about anything?
Business.
Business time. So anyway,
bumped into city council.
Right. So
I was heartbroken.
Right. So the punchline of all this is, here we are together. I am here doing this because I'm going to do this either here or in that same park where Bernie Sanders spoke, where I first hand out the things, and we might upload the things here today and look at it. We might look at some of the footage that we got yesterday.
Yeah.
That might be a thing we do if we get around to it. If we don't ramble on, because now's the time. The time is now to sing my song. Google right there. Can you get the IT guy on that too? So there's this forum. There's right there. There's this curved place with columns. And that's where I'd like to do it. That's some fucking Diogenes shit. Just sit there all day with my sign and talk to anyone who walks by. I'd like to do it there. And in fact, that's where I should do it. If you know, that's the forum. The forum is a very ancient idea. Obviously, it's older than Jesus. You know, this public space where we can gather, and if nobody's using it, well, I'll use it. Right? Isn't that right? Is that how it works? I might not understand the rules of the forum, but you know, I think hanging out there for a couple of weeks would help. So, if you'd like to buy me a kiosk down there on the mall, so that I could stay on the forum and work at the mall and do these things down there, do check out our Patreon page where we've got
stream live and.
Yeah, stream live from
to
downtown, because I'm going to be doing it at home unless I can get funded to do it in a public space, which is a little bit more expensive than doing it in just the cheapest studio that I can find. So, yeah. Filthy Film says, strength, perception, endurance, charisma, intelligence, agility, luck, special. These sound like they're from that video game that I played one time, where, by those Bethesda motherfuckers. Skyrim is my fucking Bethesda game. No. Skyrim though, that's mine. But Fallout is Fallout. We played Fallout 4 for a minute. I don't know either. I didn't really play any of them. Mixed up. Yeah. I was just like, I'll just go do Skyrim.
You're in a shelter, right?
Yeah, that one.
Start in the shelter.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Well,
so,
you start in your home and then you go to the shelter.
That's right. You start in the normal times and then the nuclear bomb goes off. Yeah, I watched that a number of times.
And their screen pops up with that list right there.
Those are the attributes of the character, like in Dungeons and Dragons, So anyway,
some DMs use luck, some don't. And agility is dex.
Right, and so there's a lot of but then they spell out a special when you put them in that order.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, so you know that's special. So but anyway, we gathered together just because. Why not? You know, I'm here because I'm doing a task. And you're here because you're interested in the shit that Pastafarians say, or whatever. You're here for your own reasons. Yeah. I don't have to tell you your reasons, and we don't exclude people for being here if their reasons are even generally pretty negative. You know, you gotta be kind of a total fucking asshole to get asked to be excused. Eh? Yeah. You're excused from the conversation. But what that gives us is this situation that the whole fucking world is built on, where people sell their audience to businesses. Like, I just realised you're the audience and I'm the broadcaster, so now I'm supposed to sell you to somebody. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then to be like, oh, and everyone's doing it. That's the game. As soon as you get an audience, you're like, now I get to fucking sell this. But what you're selling is your poor audience is pointing their eyes and their ears at fucking bullshit. Yeah. And that's what you're selling. Yeah. And so, I'm not going to sell you, eh? The bullshit you're going to get is fucking my bullshit, Like, because I'm not going to say, hey, listen to this bullshit because I get paid if you do. That's really not cool, though, is it? It's not a cool move, right? For the whole fucking broadcasting maneuver to be
complicated,
based
man.
upon.
That's the system we've grown up in. Everyone says that is the way it is.
It's a system that's been profitable the whole time we've been alive, yeah.
Just like it's gross to kick the bottom rung.
That's right.
And
To
just
shit
like
down.
it's gross to have a pyramid scheme. Like,
Right.
that is the way of capitalism. All
It is the
those
way of some of the
things.
systems we've grown up with.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like everyone's like, that's the normal, but it's like,
It's normal,
let's
it's common.
change it.
It's not the only option.
Yeah.
We've got other options, right?
It's gross.
I would pick another option if I
Yeah.
could.
Yeah, I don't want to sell our audience.
Yeah, I know. It makes me feel gross.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you guys are listening to bullshit, I want you to just be listening to the bullshit that I'm creating artistically. I don't want you to be listening to something created to fucking brainwash your mind into buying fucking products you don't even want. I just want, I want it to be Flying Spaghetti Monster talks through me and I fucking vomit that bullshit out into the universe.
Yeah.
And selling that time seems rather strange. But I will do it at the top of every hour, during the top of the hour walk, because, you know, these are the guys who are paying the bills, so fucking, I gotta do what they say anyway. Yeah.
So all of that just gotta do it anyways.
I just gotta do it anyway. I fucking would love to fucking rise above all this shit, but I don't know. This is yeah.
The bill man's knocking.
Yeah. The currency isn't money, it's just fucking shit, right? It's like, you gotta do the shit now, and I'm like, fuck, right?
Yeah.
Shit down is the currency. Oh man. It took me a long time to realize that, like, trickle down was, like, people were making fun of it, be like, yeah, you know, trickle down, like, come on guys. Like, how could they call it trickle down? Like, how could they be like, listen, trickle down economics, like, trickle down? Really? Like, your fucking diarrhea trickles down the fucking pyramid of slaves that you live upon? It's what the hell?
Peeing on our heads.
Good gracious. This is like, are you even listening to the words you're using?
It's
Trickle down the
creepy.
pyramid because I'm way up here because this is where I deserve to be and you're way the fuck down there and maybe it'll get to you someday if you ever deserve it. Like, what in the fuck are you talking about? Christ. I read a thing on Twitter the other day that was like, a fry cook works harder than a CEO, and it's like, ah, shit. Like, I wish that weren't true, right? The guy making your burgers works hard. The fucking CEO fucking golfs a lot.
Yep.
You know, what the fuck are we talking about
goes
here?
to lunches with clients.
Oh
or
my god,
other
right?
CEOs.
Clinky clinky, ha ha ha.
Yeah.
You know what's fun is drinking during lunches, ha ha ha.
Air conditioned.
Yeah, that's hard
most of their
work.
lives.
Hard fucking work right there.
Yeah.
Jesus.
But you gotta be charismatic.
Mato Fritz came to say hello and is going away. Hello, and we'll see you
Bye.
soon. Please do,
Bye.
you know, watch this at your leisure or whenever, or don't skip this one because, like I said, none of these are required reading. If anything interesting happens, actually no, you'll never hear about it. Then nothing interesting is going to happen. But that's alright, because that's the point. Here's the job. Sit down there like Diogenes, and sleeping in a fucking vase, and when people come up and be like, Diogenes, what the fuck are you talking about? And this is what I'm fucking talking about. Right. So, I figure that'll only cost, like, $600 a month, to get the old, thing rent down there for, like, something near there where one little grubby man could live. So, you know, let me know if you want to fucking fund that sort of endeavour, because that's the thing I can definitely do. Be there so that the drunks can talk to the philosophers and listen to the words of the prophet, because... So, let's talk a little bit about... That's down with the top of the hour walk. Let's talk a little bit about fucking, you know, the spirituality and the fucking changes. Is,
Well, you gotta put a song on.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, I better write it down. Listen to the song and then we'll be back to talk about the changes. That was our good friend Leon Bridges with the river, and the video for that. It's got like this baby crying in the middle of it. It's very, very weird. Okay, so yes, had a thought. Sorry about that. So we had to move on to the spiritual part of the services today, where we talk about like I said, the cha-cha changes, which I've got. We'll be listening to that in a moment, nice. So stand by for that. So there's a place down in the 16th Street Mall called the Rock Bottom. It's funny.
The Rock Bottom?
Yeah, and all the homeless people hate it because
what
they
kind
hate
of place is it?
homeless people.
Food?
Yeah, like a bar.
A bar?
Yeah, Rock Bottom.
And they're rude to homeless people?
They don't like the homeless people, and then the homeless people don't like them back. And the people that take care of the homeless people don't like them back. And the people that are rescuing the homeless people, right, are rescuing them from the persecutors, right?
And the name of the place is Rock Bottom?
Rock Bottom.
It's kind of ironical.
Yeah, sarcastic. On the nose
Funny,
a bit.
but not funny.
Right.
But not
Dark humor, right?
Yeah.
It's a bit dark, that joke. Because that's the point, is they're peddlers of alcohol, and alcoholism, the only way out of that is right through rock bottom, from what I hear. And so there's a lot of things in this world that are trying to get you to rock bottom.
Fuck.
There's things that are pushing you that way. Pressures,
Yes.
The pressures that you're getting that are washing you down down the coals, as it were, to the very rock bottom. And apparently, from what I hear, that's the only place that you decide whether alcoholism is going to kill you or whether you're moving on with your life, right? And I think that's where we lose a lot of our good friends, our SNL friends, all of our SNL alumni, the party at 27, where we lose a lot of people.
Comedians and our singers and
right, the very dark place, the very rock bottom you can reach at 27, where you have to decide if you're going to live or you're going to never change. So that's where I'd like to be, out there at the forum. I don't know how many people at rock bottom are walking around in public anymore, going to the forum trying to listen to the religious zealots, but I do want to be where they are. So if they are drunk walking up and down the mall at night, I'd really like a kiosk there where I can just sort of have some iconography that they can look at and have some videos that they could watch or listen to. Filthy Film says, it's the white man encroaching on our lands, bringing their fire water and their pox blankets. That pox blankets was brought up again, both in a western that was produced in the last 10-20 years, a Netflix western, some shit on Netflix, and then again during this whole white people aren't as bad as people are making them out to be thing that's going on. Very strange white defensiveness going on of like, pox blankets were a myth, we never done that. And it's like, well, here's two people saying they were about to do it, so I don't know why the fuck you've got to pretend that white people are better than they are, right? Like, why are you mythologizing these people? No, the West was crazy. They really did not think of those people as humans. There was America, and there was the untamed lands, and it was like, no, those were nations. Those were civilizations. They were not untamed lands. And to my severe embarrassment, I'm from that. I am Mormon stock. We walked out to Utah and did some fucking despicable shit. You should hear what fucking Brigham Young done to the nations that he invaded. With his religious cult, walked into centuries-old nations and just erased them. So, you know, that's my people. And so why the fuck do I need to call them fucking heroes and sort of
White out.
glorify, and clean up? Like, I don't have to do that. I can just be like, oh, fuck that.
Yeah.
These guys were fucked up. That was fucked up shit. They didn't come in and be like, hey, we got nowhere to live. Can we live here? What is your deal all about? They walked in being like, we know everything. God, the Creator, talks to this guy. That's a real fucked up way to walk into fucking the neighbor's house. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, God's talking to me right now. It's crazy.
It's
Abrahamic. And then, dude, so you know the old Boston Tea Party, right? You heard of that? It's a fucking part of the American Revolution, right? 1770, whatever. And they were all like, we're pissed. And they were like, we're going to throw the tea in the harbour, right? First of all, that's where the Webbs were. Fucking Braintree at that time. Again, figure that shit out. Fucking that's me. So, so who threw the shit in the harbour? Could have been me, you know? Fuck. Yeah. And when they did it, they dressed up as Indians. Remember that? You remember that? That's right, right? I'm not making that up, right? That's the thing every American knows.
Yeah.
You know that in the story of like, and then these great American patriots pretended they were savages out there, so nobody knew what they were, right? Fucking, you know, this Antifa, they cover their faces and it's like, wow, that's a fucking American tradition, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Fucking pretend you're someone else. So that happened 1770 whatevers, right? Boston Tea Party, everybody knows about it. And then Joseph Smith comes along, fucking 1830, totally takes the story of the American Revolution and mythologizes it and puts it into the Book of Mormon. And then he has, and then fucking Brigham Young, Joe Smith gets himself murdered for fucking burning a press. You know, check that chapter for that strange story.
Yeah.
And then Brigham Young fucking gets everyone together and says, I'm the fucking prophet now, let's go. And they walk out of America, and then they're out there in their world, in their lands, in Utah, and fucking some guys walk by from their old place where they were, or like, talking shit about Mormons, and like, oh, we're gonna fucking kill these people. And they're like, they're talking shit about Joseph Smith, they're talking shit about Brigham Young, and they're fucking walking through our lands, and they think they're gonna get away with that. So they go down to Parowan, right? Well, guess who's there? The fucking Webbs. Me again. I show up. And fucking, they're down there, and they're parked for the night. And that night, the fucking Mormons surround them, dressed as Indians. Again. Fucking.
It's so embarrassing.
So embarrassing. Like, come on, can we at least come up with new shit?
It's horrible.
Right? Like, let's do that fucking thing, you know, where they dressed up and they blamed it on the Indians. Let's just do that forever and ever and ever. Like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Fucking Mountain Meadows Massacre. Who might have been there again, because we don't know who was there. Fucking that shit. Fucking, only one person ever got fucking in trouble for that. A fucking kids. Like, everyone died in the Mountain Meadows Massacre.
All the people there were murdered.
Erased. Yeah, except for the 8-year-old under 8, and they brought them home. Fucking raised them. Fucking insane.
Disgusting.
Right. And you know why? You know why they did something so fucking weird?
Because they knew they were right in
Yeah.
their God.
And in their fucking bullshit book, it said, you could do that sometimes. And it's like, now sometime, let's do it. You can take their fucking kids if you want. It says so somewhere in the oldest fucking testament that we can find. One of the oldest books on the planet.
Yep.
It says...
That was my people too, of the Lloyds. They were out there in Parowan and...
Out there doing stupid shit.
Yeah, Pine Valley.
Right.
Fuck.
Yeah, happily, my guy, very strange part of his story is he left. He walked away. at like 70.
Yeah, his kids continued.
Yeah, all his kids stayed out west, but he walked home.
Yeah.
He converted.
What was his first name?
He was Charles. Okay. Charles Young Webb. And he converted into Mormonism, I think soon after Joseph Smith died. He was in winter quarters. He was in the Mormon battalion. He walked home from the Mormon battalion. His wife was dead.
Oh, man.
Yeah, he's got another wife, and they hand-carted across during one of the bad ones.
Jeez.
So then he goes south to Parowan because he's late, and so everything. Hey, Salt Lake's full. Why don't you go out to fucking nowhere and fucking suck a dick? The prophet of God said, "You know what? Southern Utah is a lot like southern East Coast, and so they grow the cotton there. So why don't we have everyone go down there and grow cotton?" And they never grew cotton. Cotton can't grow there. It's fucking stupidest thing in the world. The fucking prophet of God didn't know that you can't grow cotton there. So, yeah, figure that shit out.
And it's just whited out.
Yeah, and you know, my family totally fucking took a nosedive right there. Like, go grow cotton in a place that can't grow cotton. Okay, fucking. But he did get 3 wives. He was running out. He 3 more. Like, he had 4 wives his whole life. He had 3 at a time, I think. Yeah. So, you know, good for him, I guess. He got the promise. Like very few Mormons got to really be polygamous.
So everything's like gross and.
He had so many kids. He was naming them Christopher Columbus and George Washington.
No one's enjoying their time. Like, how sad is that?
It was a nightmare. And then at the end, all his kids fucking stayed there, and then he walked home because he's like, "Oh, fuck this." And I think Mount Menace Massacre may have had a part in that, because I don't know, man. A lot of people around you are fucking crazy murderers. You know, that's the thing you learned that day.
Yeah.
Right? Everyone around you is willing to just shoot someone.
Yep.
When the fucking call comes down. And maybe when the call doesn't come down, because we're not even sure who said, "Let's do it," right? Because a lot of people are being like, "Dude, I thought fucking Brigham Young was all like, 'Let's do it.'" And Brigham Young's like, "Oh, really? Because I never said let's do it." And so, you know, no one's sure who said, "Let's fucking kill these people," right? Fucking one guy got hanged for it, or shot for it. One guy. Tried and killed. Yeah.
Is that what it's called? Tried and shot. They're like the line of people that quartered?
No. No, it's quartered. Quarters is very medieval. It's very aggressive. Yeah. No. So just a firing squad, eh? But I don't know. I think maybe that's a very Mormon way to execute. It's firing squad. I think.
Yeah, because that's what they did to the people walking through.
It has to do with
what they probably did to their own prophet.
Yeah, dude, because we don't know who was in the mob. That killed fucking Joseph Smith, and they got there that night, you know,
so
like
angry husbands and dads,
right? We don't know how many people he fucked. We don't know how many wives he had, because although it was fucking beautiful, spiritual, and very, very important, and the renewal of an ancient covenant that God has brought finally back, we didn't keep very good records of it, because it was kind of secretive, like a really kinky, weird thing that he did in the back secret rooms. So then they didn't write anything down. Holy shit. He was fucking their wives and daughters, and then after they found out, they were like, no, he was reinstituting polygamy, and then they polygamied. For fucking ever. And in front of the whole country, they polygamied.
To, like, protect their prophet.
To protect their prophet, who was dead, right?
Yeah.
He was done. They could have just thrown that fucking arsehole under the bus, right? Yeah. And instead they're like, no, we've got to save his character. And it's like, oh my god. Joseph Smith? You guys are fucking doubling down on Joseph fucking Smith. Okay, man. Okay. Oh, fuck. And, you know, that's the sort of crazy shit you get when you double down on sex cult, guys. Jesus, fuck! The temple was built so that he had a place to go fuck people. Like, there were beds in it. Go check it out. What the fuck are they doing with beds in the temple? Let me know. Let me know what part of the endowment you need a bed for. Hey? Yeah. Oh my god, so embarrassing. So many hours of my life sitting in these buildings. Sitting in these cold-ass buildings.
Oh my god.
Why the fuck we gotta wait? It's Sunday.
So fucking cold.
We gotta get there at 9 o'clock on Sunday? Why? Why the fuck are you making me wake up early on Sunday? I woke up early on Saturday for fucking cartoons. Why do I gotta do it on the other day of my weekend? Jesus Christ. Why can't it be at noon?
Yeah.
I wonder to myself. Why can't the Mormon church be from noon to 2? That sounds great. I'll go to that. I'll still go to that, if they fucking send a car to my house and pick me up. I'm just not spending gasoline to get there, Someone comes by, my fucking home teacher, which they don't do anymore. Well, for Jesus, the church has changed a lot since I was a member. This church that never changes sure has changed many things since I fucking walked the fuck out.
Yeah.
Filthy Film says, Graham Hancock has some interesting talks about how the Spanish messed up, my apologies, South America even worse than the British got the North. Dude, I believe it. I definitely believe it. Like, but then, you know, I mean, we haven't done great things to fucking the South American countries ourselves. We were talking about Tropico the other day, and like, yeah, man, these banana republics were. Our corporations were more powerful than some of these nations. Like, oh, we really shouldn't allow that to happen, right? Like,
Yeah.
like Nestle really done some bad stuff. If anything that Joseph Menezes says is to be believed, if there's anything to be believed, it's be wary of these multinational corporations. They become evil before you notice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should have a segment of, let's read about wiki pages of this corporation.
This corporation, this
Today.
evil corporation.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very socialist. Who put those ideas in your head? Were they down at that socialist gathering you went to?
I was.
Well, I have here the footage that we got down at this very hippie fucking commune that you went to the other day. Let's see if I can get it onto this computer. My computer is very full. I've got to get another hard drive here, but they're like the last time I bought a hard drive was years and years and years ago, and fucking What's His Nuts' Law is fucking tearing us to pieces. You know, we got a lot of fucking hard drive for a very few dollars, but you know, I still gotta fucking lay out $60. Give me the smallest one because it's bigger than what I got right now.
Yeah.
And so, you know, that's nice. It's nice to keep walking into the future. All these fuckers who are like, why don't we move into the past? And like, I don't think you remember the past as well as I do. 12,019. Alright. 99. Which means no, by the way, in Germanic. So, 9919 was the day yesterday.
Wow.
Yeah. Does that hurt your brain?
A little.
A little bit.
But then I'm like, no, I like it.
Oh, wow. Jesus. So I'm going to download this and then we'll have some look at it so that we can see what things were spoken and said. The audio is not here, so we'll have that on another day. I'll sync this up, but we'll just have a peek at it. So, yeah, but there was this guy there that was doing a thing about circumcision.
Yeah, Daniel, was it?
I believe so, Daniel.
Yeah.
Let me get his card here. I have it. Daniel from Bloodstained Men and Their Friends was down at this gathering. Have you heard? Americans are finding out. Foreskin, natural and valuable. The majority of the world's men have foreskin, which has purposes including penile protection, sexual function. I've written on it here, so it's very hard for me to read because I've got his name here, Daniel, and then his phone number in case we got separated. So I can't show this to you. Because we were about to talk to him, and then all of a sudden Bernie Sanders was talking, and it was like, oh shit, everyone's going to be hooting and hollering. Yeah. We've got to. I'll wait. And so So then afterwards we interviewed him, and I think I got like a B+ on the interview. But I'm still very nervous. But I think we got some good questions, and he, of course, doing this. he's been doing this for 7 years, he told me, and he gets out every few weeks, he says. So, you know,
that's rad.
That is a lot of practice. So, yeah, that is rad. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I'm very fascinated by the people who go out and fucking say shit in public because I do it, you know? It's a thing I like. And not everybody likes it, you know, because theatre, there's the stage, eh? And you get on the stage, and then you can feel it. Like, there's something going on that stage, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And you can't ignore it. And a camera can do that too, you know, of
Yes.
like, there's just like, whoop, look at that circle right there staring at you. And it's like, whoop, everybody's there. Everyone in the entire world. And like, you feel that weight and the fucking stuff. And you can call it exciting, and you can call it I'm nervous, and you can call it I'm afraid, and you can call it a lot of things, and it can tickle you different ways, because the point is, I don't know, just in the mush somewhere, it ends up somewhere, the signal ends up somewhere. And some of us like it, and some of us are into it, and some of us do not like it. And, you know, I like it. I like to go out there in public with a sign that says something really, really aggressive, and then pretend it's not. You know, like Jesus lied. It's like, oh, that's the worst thing to say to some people, right? You know, a certain kind of crazy person would take that as the worst thing in the world. I met this other guy that was like, I'm Jesus, and it's like, oh shit, let's talk to this guy. And he said that he was Vishnu incarnation 992. And that he was being gang stalked, and I was like, let's talk about that, because it's, you know, fascinating stuff. And so, you know, that's what I want to do. It's crazy. I'm out there and I like it, but not everybody has to like it. But I want to talk to the people. I want to figure out what the hell is wrong with us people who like it, right?
Yeah.
The people who like to go out on the stage and be like, dude, I'm the king of the funky monkeys. Check this out, and then like. You know, Bye Bye Birdie, I'm going to sing a Birdie song. I loved it. It was great. And so, but you don't have to, you know what I mean? And not everyone does. It's sort of the minority that do, I think. And so, yeah, who are we, right? That's what I'm saying to them, is like, hey, what motivated you?
Yeah.
Why are you doing this?
Yeah, as a cameraman, as soon as I turn a camera on to someone, I can feel their uncomfort or their excitement. You can just tell. And so we were walking yesterday down this line of people, and it was just like a wave of people getting anxious, you know, as we walked.
Yeah.
The camera pointed on them.
I'm like, oh shit, it's my turn.
Yeah.
Right, and so we really need to fucking acknowledge that. And every time that we do a thing of like, okay, here we are, all strangers together, let's just go around the room and let's each say a thing. That's abuse.
Yeah.
Like, everyone hates that. I'll do it. You know, like, cool, I'm Mitch, whatever. But, like, don't use me to fucking get them to do it, you know? Only some people like to do that. Other people fucking hate it worse than anything in the world. Fucking don't. They just hate it.
Yeah.
And they're very clear about it. So, I don't know why we do that. I don't know why those things happen. Eh? Why don't we treat people like they really don't want to talk to people, right? Because that's what most people are, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, why don't we treat people like assholes? You know, you're an asshole. I'm an asshole. What's wrong with that? Let's just be assholes. So anyway, let's watch some videos. As I said, the audio is not here, and syncing it is sort of a journey that I don't have to take you on right now. Because look at a million clips we've got right here. Well, I suppose you can't. Let me keep rearranging my windows here, because I've got your chat right here. Over here. There we go. Switching, moving, switching, changing. Boom! Alright. So here, this is the forum that I'm talking about. Let me turn this down. So here's me beginning, but right here is a place. It's just in a public park, and I can just back in there and just talk there all day. I can sleep right there, right there. That's what I'm sleeping. In a like a vase, big old pot. Sleep there like a dog. So it's very it's very philosophical to do that. So you know, it's the thing we're doing. But not right there, because I think that's public. I'll go find like some place and fucking do it there or whatever, and then come here a lot and talk, sermonize here. You know, get some real good scripts, work on some real good scripts, like some 30-minute things here in public, and have debates, and you know, we can bring Socrates back to the park, and you know, just right on the other side, that's Bernie Sanders. So what else? What else should we look at here? Let's this is Jesus Christ here. We might look at this. Christ Messiah?
Yeah,
Cool. What does that entail?
I'm a specific soul that can be reincarnated.
I'm going to have to stop because I think that in a moment you'll be able to see that full phone number right there, and so I'm going to not broadcast that.
NBC.
Hey Daniel, how you going?
Good, wonderful. How are you?
Good. How's the reception been, if you don't mind?
It's been very good, man. Yeah, I mean, you literally just missed critical mass. There were like 10 people standing around.
Yeah. I wanted to
give you have a conversation with another Jew. So yeah,
how did it go?
Definitely. I feel like it was a positive interaction, and I feel like I definitely made her think about things a little bit different.
How long have you been doing that?
So I've been protesting infant circumcision for about 7 years now, and just in the last month and a half, I had the opportunity of protesting with the bloodstained men and their friends who travel around the country and protest infant circumcision. There were like 25 of us standing in Denver, 16th Street Mall to be specific, and then we also protested outside of a hospital where they're performing these mutilations, and that really kickstarted me and inspired me in a lot of ways, and now I'm trying to protest infant circumcision at least once every few weeks.
Every few weeks?
Yeah, definitely.
That's great.
Yeah.
I myself was raised in Mormon, and I was very active sort of religious.
Love the stickers, bring up love the stickers,
So there's that, and the sound isn't great. The sound will be better because I've got my microphone right here in my breast pocket. And so you know, I very much like what this guy was doing. First of all, because if someone was saying this 20 years ago, I would have made different decisions in my life, you know, for other people who are in my charge. And this is a thing that I have become aware of recently. And so, you know, why not say it as loud as he wants to, you know? I mean, it's an aggressive thing. There's blood, you know. There's, he's wearing blood on his pants. Quite a striking statement. But, cool. Talk louder. Maybe you'll be able to talk into the past. You know what I mean? Like, no, there's still some people living in the past who haven't heard, hey, we Americans don't really do this anymore. Like, it's only the weird Christians that do this. So if you want to cut the tip of your kid's dick off, and he kept away from sort of religious ideas, but I pointed it like a couple times of like, you know, because I'm coming from a religious point of view, which is this is religiously motivated. There's no other reason to do this. There is no other tradition that it comes from. It's not like a health thing that they do in northern whatever, you know. It's like, oh yeah, no, because it's a cleaner dick, and it's like, no, those arguments have come from the people who do it as a reason why it's okay, you know. Like, but there are some benefits, so it's an option we get. It's like, okay, but it's not like the only place it comes from is from the fucking Abrahamic tradition. Yeah. And that, so as far as I understand the Abrahamic covenant, it was manufactured after the Babylonian captivity. Okay? So, now, this might be boring and stupid to talk about, but this is how I understand it in reality. Because the reality that I was given was fake. Because the reality I understood it as a Mormon was, there was this guy called Abraham, and he lived at this time, and then there was this guy called Moses, and he brought everybody out of the fucking Egypt, and then there was this guy called Joshua, you know? And then, you know, all these people were real people, and this was a timeline. But what really happened is there was this king called Saul, and there was like some shit, and then there was and Saul sort of pulled a nation together, but like it wasn't his kid that became king, it was this other guy, David. And David was really poetic. David was a prophet, and he was a musician in the streets. And he went out with people with instruments, and we have a collection of his poetry, David. So we're not sure exactly what's David's, but some of it's probably David's. He might be a real person. This poet king that sort of became king after the king that brought together, sort of moved this tribe into the Iron Age, I think, is if I'm understanding it correctly. And then they built things, and they built their temples, and they had their culture, and then the fucking Babylonians just walked in and were like, no, you're our slaves. And they're like, oh, fuck. And so their whole fucking culture fell down, just burned to pieces. They were taken into Babylon.
Okay.
And then, after a while, the Babylonians are like, why the fuck do we have these people here? They're just a liability. Let's get rid of them, send them home. And so, they were like, okay, we're going home. And so, they went home, and they got there, and people were still there. Like, people were living there. And they were them, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because they were Hebrews that hadn't been taken.
Right.
But a lot more of them were coming from Babylon, and so they had this weird crisis, and the people who had lived in Babylon for generations had a completely different mythology, because theirs was built on this Babylonian shit, and so they had to fucking stitch together this shit, and that's when the first 5 books of the Bible were written. It's about that time where they have to reintegrate or right about that time where they're taken away. And not only were they taken away, everyone was killed. You know what I mean? Like if you had a penis, you were attacked and murdered, right? Because we just don't need these men around, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, these guys are troublemakers, you know?
Yeah.
And so the people who, like, kept the books, you know? The people who kept the mythology and everything in this patriarchal society, they were just murdered. They had no one carrying it forward. It was taken out of scraps. So you got the scraps that are left behind, and they're coming up with stuff. And you got the scraps that are taken over there to Babylon,
Mm-hmm.
and they're coming up with stuff, and they're pulling things from the Babylonian tradition, and then we get the story of Noah from that, and then they sort of come up with this story of Moses there in captivity to echo, this has happened to us before.
Mm-hmm.
We have been in captivity before, remember. And so that's where a lot of this shit begins, is in the Babylonian captivity, where they mythologize this previous captivity. And so, I think that's where the fucking Abrahamic shit comes from, is like, there.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I don't know of any evidence of a story of Abraham before the Babylonian captivity. I think the oldest book that we have is Joshua, which was written not too much before that. You know, like they were just becoming a civilization when they were totally fucking fucked. So anyway, that's how I understand it. And so for them to be
That's
like,
a really good description.
maybe I
Like,
might be
every
wrong
time
about some really
it's
good
like,
stuff.
oh yeah, here's something new, because it's just so much information I've never heard as a Christian, you know?
Right, because the story that I had was different.
Yeah.
The story that I knew, the reality that I was attempting to fucking square things with, was different.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the thing that I just said is, I think, closer. I know it's much, much closer to truth than I was 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Because I really didn't know that Moses was mythological. I really thought it was this thing. And, like, I thought, like, you could go to Egypt and see it and be like, oh, what weird thing happened? I really thought.
Yeah.
Yeah. These weird plagues, and we don't fuck with the Hebrews anymore.
Yeah, and we'd see the Tower of Babel ruins, you know?
You know something, right?
Something,
Like, I thought the
Definitely.
evidence would be like, there were no languages,
Yeah,
and then
the
there were a
ark-
ton of languages.
The ark happened. It
Yeah, I
was
really
real.
thought evidence of the flood would be no problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you go look for it, it's there, right? You hear about it because people are talking about it, and I just didn't care. Didn't look for the thing, but people would be like, "Oh, yeah, but I did, and I like the evidence." I'm like, okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like cool. But then when I looked, it's like, oh, the none is the evidence that there is. Fuck, the Bible is the evidence for this. Christ.
Yep.
And you don't even know when the fucking story of Noah was written? Shit. That sucks. Because, you know what sucks is, there's fucking Hammurabi had this fucking finger, this steely, and it had all the laws on it, because he had to fucking solve a problem, which is fucking, let's bring these tribes together. These tribes that speak different languages,
Mm-hmm.
they gotta come together and we gotta have the same rules. And if my rules are better than yours, we'll just use mine. And, I mean, it's logical.
Mm-hmm.
And so he had to fucking solve that problem of everyone's talking different. He's like, put the rules up, out in public, where everyone can go and read them in their own language. It's really genius, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking get the fucking smartest arseholes in here. Read them back and forth and be like, yeah, that says the same thing. Yeah. Sign off. We'll put your name on it, right?
Right.
That's genius shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, they stole it. Moses comes down with the fucking laws written in stone, and God wrote the laws, and so that's why they're better. And it's like, oh, fuck you.
Yeah.
And then I go and I look at these laws, and what are they? Protect the parents. You know, so stupid. God is protect God, protect God, protect the priesthood, protect God. Like, that's first fucking 4 things of it. Like,
Yeah.
oh shit, maybe a little bit of much of that, eh? Fucking, how about this? God's God whether you like it or not, and there's nothing you can do to hurt his feelings. So, you know, you're gonna have to fucking give up eventually. And then move on, right? But no, 3 more. Fucking don't fucking swear. My name's not to be a swear word. Fucking don't have idols. Like, just fucking stupid shit.
Yeah.
Instead of some real self-confident shit of like, there's nothing to worship past me. You're gonna land on me eventually. I'll be here waiting for you. That's a really good first
You
commandment.
won't hurt my feelings
Right.
with anything you say.
That's right. You're kind of like ants to me. I can watch everything you do, but there's a lot of you. But anyway, I don't even know what we're talking about. But we are sort of wrapping up because I've got some chores to do. If you've got any questions at all about Pastafarianism, please do let us know. We can answer them now. You can send them to our YouTubes. We can talk to them about them on the chat here.
Yep. You can
we'll-
message after the show. and
That's
we'll
right. We've got
reply
our
them.
Twitter you can go to.
Yeah.
We've got some Instagram pictures. We've been pretty bad at that because of various raisons. And yeah, so anyway. Thanks everyone for joining us today for Pastafarian Radio Show with me, Schizophrenic Mitch, and Josephine Leroux. And what I have right now for you is a song to remind us of all the changes that we're going through. And the changes that we've got to allow people around us to go through. So, you know, there's got to be a place where change is allowed because of all the changes, changes that happen. So, we've got to learn the language of it.
Yep.
It sounds exciting. Sounds like we're going to be able to take this tool, this language of change, and communicate our position to people quite clearly and quickly, which is of course what we want as Pastafarians. To be able to communicate our ideals so that the people who don't understand where we're coming from can quickly see that that's their fault, not ours.
And to be given a chair at the table when they're talking about rules and morals and laws.
Yes.
Yeah, we have them too.
Right, because I think that the fucking 10 Commandments is a mockery of the steel of Hammurabi, and we should have one of those across the street from it, right? So, you
That's a
know.
beautiful idea.
Right, so I want to say that at the table. And I'm excluded because I'm on the wrong team or whatever. Like, fuck you, no way. And so, yeah, we're going to edit that shit. I'll have it ready for tomorrow. We'll be able to watch lots
Yeah,
and lots more of
do some
it.
premieres.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. Pardon me, if I edit it up. We did a lot of filming. I have a lot of footage.
Also, check out our Twitch scenes and do some duets with us.
That's true. I'm Moogly Boo over there on Twitch Sings. On Twitch, Moogly Boo. I've been singing. Last week, I just took the whole fucking week off from work. And I just hung out at daytime karaoke with my favorite Twitch streamer, Sips. And, you know, I put up some fucking karaoke's there. And you can sing with me if that's a thing that you like to do.
Yep.
And if that's not a thing that they like to do, dude, I get it. Not everyone likes getting up on stage. They get up there and they feel it, and they're like, this can kill you.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, oh yeah, you know, like if you play with snakes, right, and then you meet someone else that plays with snakes, you're like, hey, we like to play with snakes, huh? And so that's how I feel about these people on the streets with really big signs.
Yeah.
So I talk to a lot of them. I'll make that video. And I might premiere it tomorrow if I actually do make it. Anyway, thank you very much, Pastafarians. I will see you tomorrow.
See ya.
Lots of love. And yeah,